Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We are Baltimore positive. Shout out to my friends at Coco's that took last Saturday off. I'm wearing my Coco's shirt. We're going to be at Coco's again in August. We have put together 17 Maryland Crab Cake Tour stops this summer. This is going to be a Maryland lottery segment. I'm going to enjoy this with some baseball, but we will have the Back to the Future scratch offs on Thursday at Reader's Crab House in Reisterstown. Taking the week off for the 4th of July because we're doing two shows beginning on the 8th of July. In the morning, we'll be at Di Pasquale's in Canton. I'm looking forward to that big time. Got great guests coming that day. My Highlandtown Mafia is all going to be up. Pete Caringi's coming out. We're going to talk soccer in the middle of summer. I know it'll be 150 degrees. Then on the 10th, we're going to be at Costas in Timonium, the new Costas at the racetrack at Timonium before the state fair and all that good stuff. We're going to get out there. All of it brought to you by the Maryland Lottery, our friends at Curio Wellness and Liberty Pure Solutions. This guy has eluded me for a month. Last time we got together, the Orioles were in last place. The Orioles are still in last place. Seth Elkin is here of the Maryland Lottery. He communicates and communicates very clearly and succinctly. I know all you count are the home runs, and specifically, this is why John Martin's not here, because they hit a grand slam the other day, and he's got to go figure out how to pay the $5,000 on these grand slams. I wish they hit more of them, but when I say that to someone like you flippantly say, "Hey, dude, you hit three in a row the other night. What do you want?" Right?
That was big. I was getting text messages all over the place when that happened because I didn't happen to be watching the game at that moment, but I wish I had been back to back to back against the Texas Rangers.
People text you because people hit home runs for the lottery. Really, your friends do this?
I get texts from family. I get texts from people who work here. We're all
See, I
excited.
felt like when the grand slam happened the other day, I text John Martin, and I felt like I just wanted him to know. But if he tells me 100 people text him when there's a grand slam just because they know they're into $5,000, I mean, it is amazing that you get texts when the Orioles hit home runs because you're giving money away. Really,
It's our communications team in particular. We're paying attention to it because we interact with those winners. I mean, we greet them when they come in here,
sure.
and
And the more home runs, the more happy they are.
yeah, absolutely. And the Grand Slam winner was here, and I can get his name in a moment if you give me a second. I didn't know we were going to get to that.
No, please, it's fine. I mean, I want to honor all these people because I can't think of anything that would be more fun or depressing, depending on watching 9 innings of Oriole baseball.
Yeah,
The three home runs felt nice on Tuesday night, but they still lost, and
it was
that's not the fun part.
it was Rich McFadden from Edgewood on I believe it was on Father's Day, and it was Gary Sanchez, I believe, was hit a grand slam on that Sunday afternoon, and he was all smiles when he was here. We got a picture of him up on our website if you go to the news section of mdlottery.com.
Well, he's not as displeased with Gary Sanchez as I am. So,
$6,500, I would say he's not. So
or the Yankee Stadium crowd last weekend that booed him off the field. So,
well, you got to rely on him right now, of course, with Adley Rushman on the shelf for a while. So, unfortunate, lots of unfortunate.
he's only given up 6 runs in the last 2 nights with his defense, but that's okay. I mean, it's you have anything else on baseball and home run riches? Because I know this thing. Last place heats up. The trading deadline heats up. We have questions about all this. Jackson Holiday's looking good. He's costing John some money, which I'm appreciative of. But this is an ongoing thing, win or lose the rest of the summer. Y'all gonna be giving some money away, and as it heats up, we're gonna hit more home runs. We
Sure,
are.
that's what I was about to say. With the way the weather has been, hot weather, hot air makes the ball fly. Let's put it that way.
Also
So
makes the radio work too.
it makes
So.
right. It makes communications work go pretty smoothly as well. But no, we just actually did the drawing for the contestants of the game for July, and there are still two more drawings. We've got to do the drawings for the contestants for August and September games. So you still got plenty of time to get in for the last couple of months of the season. But the July winners have been drawn. And I'll tell you what I have circled on my calendar. With the hot weather and a somewhat more favorable schedule, perhaps in July than what the Orioles have had recently. And here's what I've got circled is toward the end of July, the 25th through the 27th, the Colorado Rockies come to town. The poor, woe-begotten Colorado Rockies who are barely playing baseball at a major league level. And we've got three people for those three games. I would want to be Ryan Kyler from Newmarket, Sally Baker from Edgewood, or Dana Cook from Baltimore because they are the contestants for those three games. in late July against the Rockies. So something tells me that the O's are going to hit some out of the park
It would
against
be
them.
better if the games were in Colorado now. Think
Oh,
about it, right?
it would, but
Just
come on,
saying.
you're talking about a historically terrible baseball team. So
Well, they're going to get roughed up because they're playing John Martin's Guardians right before that. It has been quite a summer, as Jimmy Buffett once sang, in regard to Oriole baseball. But the home runs are stacking up. If you're into home run riches, give them all the details on home run riches. It's $500. Well, when you win, it's $500 a home run, and then it's $5,000 for a grand slam. We've had base runners. That's the good news, right?
yeah, yep. It's a $5 fast play ticket is the first thing you got to do. The $5 fast play home run riches walk off winnings. So you may win instantly on the ticket, but whether your fast play ticket is a winner or not, you can enter it into the home run riches contest. You'll automatically get an entry into the home run riches contest just by entering your walk off winnings ticket into your My Lottery rewards account. And as you said, $500 for each person who's selected as a contestant of the game. And then you get an additional 500 for each home run the Orioles hit. And if it's a grand slam, that 500 becomes 5,000. So some plenty of chances to win here. We got still about half the season left. So we're gonna give away some more money here as the weather continues to heat up. I know that's going to be true.
Well, from your lips to the left field wall's ears. Seth Elkin is here. He's communicating for the Maryland Lottery because he's a Pirates fan and doesn't really want to talk. We can move off of baseball if you want. I mean, I tell you what, last week we began things. John Martin was here last week, and we talked about this progressive. It was at 1.9 million, and the record's 2.6. I want to give you a lock because that thing millions moved my wife, and don't ask me why she wouldn't think 2.018668. That would be a lot of money in a progressive jackpot. But my wife's much more interested in Mega Millions when it gets over 300 million. But this progressive, this is a lot of money, $2 million in a progressive local jackpot, right?
Yeah, it's a big progressive prize amount for fast play. The Gold Rush progressive game, it is a $30 fast play ticket. And that jackpot, as you and I are speaking, has topped $2 million now and continues to increase with the sale of each ticket. It's a progressive jackpot, so that means the sale of each ticket contributes into that jackpot pool. And you may win other prizes. There are lots and lots of other prizes at lower amounts that you can win on the ticket, but that progressive jackpot is now over $2 million. So we're waiting to see when that one hits, and it could be any day. It could be any moment. We have no idea when. And that's another thing we keep an eye on because on our website, if you go to the fast play page of
I'm
mdlottery.com,
on it right now, so I'm trying to learn a little bit about this $30 game because I was not completely familiar with it. So
you can
this is where you educate me, Seth.
you can see the progressive jackpot amounts. If you go to that page and you can sort the tickets by
Got a
price.
Willy Wonka ticket in here for $10. Look at that. Okay, go ahead.
And you can click on that gold P at the top of the page, and that'll show you all the progressive jackpot games. Those are the ones where the prizes, that top prize amount, is incrementing up with the sale of each ticket. So every 15 minutes on our website, you get an updated number. If you refresh the page, every 15 minutes, you'll see the up
It
to
says,
date.
hurry, play today. This game is closing soon, is what it says here.
When what we've got that time for is that the next time that progressive jackpot hits, when somebody hits that $2 million, that's when that game will no longer be sold. So whoever buys that progressive jackpot ticket, they're going to be the last one to play, and they're going to nail down that prize. So very much looking forward to that because that's a great prize for us to give away. We're excited along with our players when we get a chance.
Just tell my wife to go play that one. I'd be good with 2 million, man. I don't need 300 million. I mean, just a little beach money is all I'm looking for here. Seth Elkin is here from the Maryland Lottery. We are reaching the beach. Matter of fact, Seth, I'm gonna see you like in real person. We're broadcasting from Mako down at the Maryland Counties Conference in August. I want to put it's close to. We're 6 weeks away, 7 weeks away. I'll be down there for the whole week. We're gonna be broadcasting live from the beach, and that's all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. And that's usually you guys bring big numbers, end of year, sort of closing out a year here this week, right? I mean, sort of fiscal, right?
Yeah, the state's fiscal year ends June 30th, so We spend most of July tallying up all the numbers and getting a summary report together. And that's always something that we look forward to because, the lottery's mission is to generate revenue for the state, which is always an important mission. And particularly now under the situations that the state's been
I could
dealing
say
with.
West needs the money. Everybody's pay's been frozen. I'm sorry. Like I saw all of that, and people wonder where this money comes from. And I sit here and we play lottery, and I give tickets away and whatever. This generates money to send kids to school. Like that's why when I talk to John about this being on the up and up, and we talk about this, we talk about Five Finger Louie and the bookmaker salad and all those things that went into sports wagering. This is an incredible tax part of the base of what operates our state. And I don't ever want to lose sight of that because it's fun and we play the games and whatnot, but it is on the up and up. And it is sort of a 24-hour a day casino as I see it because it's updating online here, just this progressive $30 game. I'm like, this feels like, you could play anytime, anywhere. We want people to play responsibly, but this is important for the state. It really is.
Yep, the profit from the sale of lottery tickets is one of the largest contributors to the state's general fund every year. After taxes, it's the largest contributor to the general fund. And of course, the general fund is where the budgets for a lot of state programs come from. A whole host of state programs and services. The regular annual education budgets come out of the general fund. Lots of public health and public safety program budgets come out of the general fund. So it's a point of pride for us to be able to support so many state programs and services and have such a big role in that. And that's just the lottery side. Probably about $700 million or just shy of $700 million in profit to the general fund on an annual basis. But on the casino side, the contributions to the state will probably exceed that number. So, and the sports wagering number is going to be far in excess of what it was last year. We topped, I believe we're past $80 million in contributions to the state from sports betting. It was just over $60 million for all of FY24.
Oh,
So
by the way, it was 0 5 years ago, and for all of eternity before that, it was a street thing, and
so
not
it
safe and not regulated and not any of that.
It is a new stream of revenue and a growing stream of revenue for the state. So again, that's something that we take pride in regulating that and making sure that all of that, as you say, is being done on the up and up, and we're diligently monitoring that and making sure that all of those numbers are accounted for. And in August we'll have our fiscal year summary report. We'll be able to tell you what the combined figure was. It was $1.585 billion in FY24.
B, would it be?
Billion with a B when you put
1.5? It was that
1.585 billion.
Almost what the Orioles cost or what the Rays. The Rays are playing this weekend. I'm talking about their sale. 1.8 billion is what the baseball team's worth.
And and with a very low payroll, from what I understand.
Yeah, well managed though in Tampa. They've had a little bit of glory. Seth Elkin is here from the Maryland Lottery. He communicates with them. I want to talk winners because, I went onto the winners page here. Essex woman moves up retirement plan after $5 million lottery win. Well, if I meant, look, my wife wants to win this 300 million in the Mega Millions. 3 million right now. I'm not greedy. I'm getting older. I could eat off of that. You know what I mean? I think I'd be okay. I hope this young lady in Essex is doing well.
That's a great story too, because what I love about this is that typically she said she plays bingo themed tickets or sometimes crossword style tickets as well.
Well, Essex and bingo. I'm come on, I'm from Dundalk. I know how that goes.
A lot of people love those style of tickets because they take a while to play. It's not just scratch and look at the numbers and see what happens. So you have to take your time and go through it and match things up when you play a bingo style ticket. So I think that's what a lot of those people like who enjoy those games. That's what they like about them. So it was interesting when she told us the story of buying this. It was a $50, $5 million fortune ticket that she bought. And instead of scratching the whole thing off all at once, she did it a little bit at a time. She scratched off the numbers to see what she matched. And one of those numbers, it turned out to be a stack of cash, a little stack of cash symbol. And that tells you you've won whatever that prize amount is that is with that stack of cash. And that turned out to be that $5 million amount. It's the first $5 million prize out of 3 that there were on this ticket. So still 2 of them remaining out there unclaimed, waiting to be found. But
this woman won $5 million at the Back River Exxon. Dude, It's across the street from Pizza John's. That could have been me. I've driven by. It's right by Salvo's. I've driven by there a million times in my life.
I think that's the other thing that people love about these things, reading about winners, is finding out where those tickets were sold and knowing just this sense of astonishment that I'm seeing from you right now. You know that place. You've been past there a million times. It could have been you wandering in there and
She
buying a
says she's
ticket.
going to buy a Jeep. Good for her. Five
And one for
million
her
bucks.
daughter
Buy
too.
two Jeeps.
One for her daughter too.
Yeah,
Two
buy
Jeeps.
two. That's what I said. Buy two Jeeps. Why
Everybody
not?
gets a Jeep.
That's like Oprah, man. This is fun. So, and you get to meet these people when this woman comes in from Essex, and she stayed anonymous. And some people take the put the sign up, take a picture, and give themselves a funny name, the king and the queen of money and whatnot. Um, there is some humanity involved in your gig, and I always say to Doug, who has the other end, he has to call people who don't believe they've won, and people scratch it, look down, know they've won, and still don't believe they've won. Right? There really is that. That's the weird part of your job that I think you got a tough job, state job. I see what you do every day, but I'm thinking every day you get to see these really happy people that come in. A lot of business don't get that. Get really happy people when they come in. Everybody that's there is a winner for the most part, right?
You do get that reminder on a regular basis that you're meeting people on what is probably one of the best days of their lives. If you ask them, they probably the first thing they would say is the day their children were born, and then the next thing is going to be, wow, I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life, the day that I won this prize or the day that I came in and claimed it. So it is an exciting. We try to make sure that it's a fun experience for people. It's a relaxed experience for people. We want it to be a good time for them. And as you say, they are anybody who wins a Maryland Lottery prize is allowed to remain anonymous. We certainly hope that they will embrace the moment and allow us to take a photo, but no one's required to do that. And we want it to be a good experience for them, and we love telling their stories and having a good time with them as they celebrate.
Well, Essex and 5 million bucks, that gets my attention all the time. Seth Elkin is here for the Maryland Lottery. We communicate on a weekly basis about where the money goes and how the money flows, and the Mega Millions at 350 million and Powerball at 140 million. That gets my wife's attention. Progressives up, all of that going on. It's summertime. We had home run riches. Am I leaving anything out? Because we have Back to the Future winners. We've had Let's Make a Deal winners. We have this NASCAR. You have all of these fun little promotions going on that we've talked about week to week to week, but we're now into these hot summer months. We have events coming up as well.
Yeah, we've got the Back to the Future. We just had the second to last drawing and got a new set of winners there. But the last drawing is coming up on the 14th of July, and that will be where we give away that $8,888 prize. That'll be the largest prize of that promotion. And of course, that corresponds to the 88 miles an hour that Doc Brown's DeLorean had to travel in order to travel through time. This year, of course, the 40th anniversary of the
Every time you
release of
say
the
travel
original
back in
Back to the
time, I
Future
start
movie.
singing the Huey Lewis song. You know, well, you do. I mean, it's amazing 40 years later. Gotta get back in time. Yeah, yeah. So, Back to the Future has been a fun promotion for me to give these away. Everybody's familiar with that.
I've really enjoyed this one. I just think it's a sense of nostalgia for people, and we love tapping into that. So it's a good time, and we're looking forward to giving away that last prize. Still time till the middle of July to get entered into that contest. Enter your non-winning Back to the Future scratch-offs into My Lottery Rewards, and you'll be in there for that one.
That's this one right here. If you come
There
out
you
and
go.
find me at Readers on Thursday, you'll get this one. Also, we'll be at on the 8th of July. We're going to be first time ever at Deep Pasquale's, the new Deep Pasquale's in Canton. I'm really looking forward. Going to have a great guest list that day. I know it's going to be hot. And then on the 10th of July, we're moving inside at Costas in Timonium. So come on out. I will have the Back to the Future scratch-offs. NASCAR promotion. I know we had that going on, as well as the Let's Make a Deal. So I heard about these people going out to L.A. I mean, at some point, you and Doug got to round up people because I want to know if they dress like bananas, oranges, the Coneheads, whatever the gig is on dressing up to get to go to the Let's Make a Deal thing. That sounded like as fun of a thing this side of getting, I don't know, cheesecake from Roquan Smith during the Raven scratch off promotion.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that trip. I think that's going to be a great time for those folks. We've got 2 winners already, but there's still 3 more drawings in the Let's Make a Deal promotion coming up in July, August, and early September. So you got plenty of time to get your non-winning Let's Make a Deal tickets entered, and you'll have a shot at winning a trip to Los Angeles to be there for a taping of the Let's Make a Deal game show, but also some cash prizes that we're giving away as part of that second chance promotion. So plenty of chances on that. Go to the promotions page of mdlottery.com to check out all of the current promotions and figure out how to get in on all of that.
It makes me jelly going to LA at this point because the Hollywood Bowl is like toward the top of my bucket list at this point because I've done arenas and stadiums and I don't really want to go to Notre Dame. There's a couple places I've never seen games at the big house. I don't need all of that. But concert venues, LA, I mean, I haven't been to the Troubadour. I haven't been to the Whiskey. I want to see a show at the Coach House in San Juan Capistrano. I want to, there's some places I need to get to. The Cavern out in LA, the Agora Cavern, these great music venues. But the Hollywood Bowl is iconic. The Who is playing out there with the Joe Perry Project in September. I'm thinking about it. But the Let's Make a Deal thing, if there's a taping and I get to dress up as like, I don't know, one of the Wonder Twins or something, I would do that. That would be fun for me. Everybody likes the Halloween thing, dressing up, right? Let's make a deal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really great time. Of all of we give away a lot of trips through second chance promotions and through points for drawings promotions. There's the choose your own vacation that I think you and I talked about a few weeks back. That's still going on, but I think this one's really going to stand out. I think it's going to be a great time for everybody.
Uniquely unique and memory making. Seth Elkin is here from the Maryland Lottery. They're trying to make memories and give money away, raise money for the state. We try to cover all of that here. If you're into home run riches, make sure you're playing that. If you're playing any of the games, if you're gambling straight away, if you're looking down on your phone right now and you're gambling, just slow the roll, do it responsibly. We always talk about that 1-800-GAMBLER around the corner for you because we have fun with this, but for some people it can get out of hand, and this is a time of year in summertime here. Anything we're doing event wise getting out because it is so hot right now, and I love spring because you get wine festival and brew at the zoo. We're doing all of this stuff this time of year. It's like reach the beach is all, find the pool is, be cool in the pool is what I'm doing. But I know you guys are getting out doing stuff also.
So where you'll be able to find us here over the next couple of weeks is on Utah Street. We're going to be at a couple Orioles games on the 27th of June. We'll be at the game against the Orioles. And also on the 8th of July, the game against the New York Mets. You'll be able to find us out there and spin the prize wheel out on Utah Street and win yourself a lottery item and have some fun with us. And we'll be at a couple other places. The 12th of July, we'll be at the Baltimore Magazine Crab Fest at the B&O Railroad Museum. And we'll be at the Show Your Soft Side fundraiser in Owings Mills on July 17th. So a bunch of things coming up.
Well, Show Your Soft Side. I mean, I've done a lot with what they do. How much I love my kitty cat. So, and we talk about animals around here all the time. Seth, always good to visit with you. You got any baseball you want to throw at me here at the end? I mean, Ohtani back to pitching and hitting, and we just take this like Babe Ruth and how bad the Rockies are. I mean, you Pirates, you're benching guys there. We've already got a manager fired here. I mean, these things settle out in the middle of the season. The big blockbuster trade, right? Red Sox get rid of their dead weight endeavors. And but the Orioles, buyers, sellers, swappers, I don't know, but this is for anybody that's a baseball fan this time of year, it starts to settle out a little bit, doesn't it?
I'll tell you the thing that's fun for me at this time of year is voting for the All-Star team.
Okay.
I love going and voting for the All-Stars partly because it gives me a chance to really look at some stats of players who are doing a lot better than my Pirates are, and probably a lot better than the Orioles are doing. I enjoy that. It's a lot of fun. So I like going and picking out the All-Star players and voting for that. Remember, you do it online now, of course, but of course
that's not fun.
You and I are old enough to remember the punch cards, right?
That's what I was going to say to you. This is where I was going to go with this because Seth's an old school. Most of you have never been in Seth's office at the Maryland Lottery at the Montgomery Park. I have. I mean, everything in there is from Bradshaw, and I feel like Mean Joe Green's going to come out of the closet and offer me a Coke. I mean, that's kind of what I feel like's going on in your office. Dale Barrow would offer me something else, but you kids can Google that. But nonetheless, I've never talked to you about Three River Stadium and like did you go to a lot of Pirates games when you were a kid? Like run me through the Stargell through Barry Bond. Like were you a once a year guy, a 12 times a year guy? I don't know how far you live from Three River Stadium. I attended baseball games at Three River Stadium many times at the All-Star game in 96, the whole deal. But like, it was 94, sorry. 96 was Philly. But yeah. I would say this, the punch card thing, when you say All-Star game to me, I can tell you what size they were. They were in a baby blue, the little punch outs. And my dad would get pissed at me because I would take them like 5 deep and punch through
We
all of
all
them to
did
try to
that.
get Belanger in. I'm old enough that I remember my cousin being on the punch card in 74 when he wasn't even on the team. He was still on the ballot because he was a Hall of Famer. And in 74, Burleson was playing shortstop at that point. Beniquez might have been playing some short. I'll find out because Seth, I'm gonna make you jelly today. You ready for this? All right, this is really big. I can't believe I didn't tell you about this. Today I am having a bucket list guest on today. A guest I've never had on my show. A guest that I'll trivia this. You'll get this in. If I give you 2 clues, you'll get it. This was my favorite baseball player in 1975. Before Sisto Lescano came into my life in Milwaukee and became my favorite baseball, and before like Eddie and Gary Renicky was my favorite Oriole. So we're talking late 70s here. 1975, this player became my favorite baseball player. Do you want to gander a guess or do you want a second clue? Because you're going to get this.
Okay, 1975, the first thing I think of is Carlton Fisk's home run in the World Series.
This guest is closely related to that particular event.
Bernie Carbo?
Bernie Carbo is not on the show. I have met Bernie Carbo.
He
Bernie
was in that
Carbo.
game. He was in
Bernie
that game.
Carbo was in for the 1970 Oriole celebration that happened at the Meyerhoff one night. I was there with Brooks and Jim Palmer, and Brooks was like Earl was alive then. This is a long time. This was in 2010. They had a 40th anniversary of winning the 70 World Series. Not Bernie Carbo, but you're getting really warm. Why would Bernie Carbo be my favorite baseball player?
Well, I don't know
Come to your senses.
Didn't he hit a home run in that game 6?
He did, yes.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Well, see, Louis, as a 4 or 5-year-old, when I became a baseball fan in 72, 73, 74, Louis was a Red Sox. So I have my Red Sox bobblehead, the real bobber that I bought at 33rd Street. And Louis was, my cousin. I met him. And so I always had at that point, I'm 6 years old. I want to be an Orioles fan. And Tommy Davis and Jim Palmer and Brooks is getting old at that point, starting to lose his hair a little bit, getting patchy. Just got Lee May, that period of time. My cousin was my guy. I'm 5 years old, right? I'm watching the Orioles every night, but my favorite baseball player was a Red Sox in 1975. He later became an Oriole.
Fred Lynn.
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. You can name that in 3 clues. There you go. Fred Lynn's coming on. Isn't that exciting? Fred Lynn's
that
coming
is
on the show.
cool. Yeah.
I knew you'd like that. So I got Fred Lynn coming on today. So I am excited. So this is the baseball nerd in me. When we're in last place, I have to chase down heroes. I thought I had Steve Trout booked on the show, who's had a better career than I thought he had.
Yeah.
But I'm such a baseball gooby. You know what I mean? It's weird. Bruce Bochy walked out to make a pitching change on Tuesday night, and my wife and I are watching the game. And I know Boch pretty well from my Padres days from 30 years ago. I mean, Boch come up, hey Nestor, you need me to do your show. That's pretty good Boch, right? So, Bochy was in San Diego when Larry Lucchino went out there in the 90s and Tony Gwynn. And I've told, our broadcaster was Mel Proctor, became the Padres broadcaster. Lots of the front office people went out and worked for the Padres at that time from the Orioles. So I knew, and my aunt lived there. So I loved the Padres at that time. So, I've had different favorite players. Like Tony Gwynn was my all-time favorite player. Fred Lynn was my first favorite player. George Brett is probably, way, way up there as far as having heroes. But when your team's in last place, you're just trying to keep baseball interesting. So for me, Fred Lynn, top of the pops, but I got to figure out who else I want to chase and have on the program because I can't chase Tony Gwynn, right? I mean, so I'm trying to find people that are alive that can still come on and let me be the fanboy idiot that I am and was as a kid.
There's something magical about that 75 World Series. The fact that I can tell you that Bernie Carbo hit a home run in game 6 of the 75 World Series should tell you everything I need to know. You need to know. I was only 3 years old when that game was
Can
played.
I tell you something about the 75 World Series that freaked me out? I mentioned it to Luke this morning. It was 50 years ago.
Wow.
50 years ago. 50 years. How is that? That's not even conceivable to me.
That's the beginning of your conversation with Fred Lynn.
No, I don't want to insult Fred Lynn like that. When Freddie came to Baltimore, like that was the greatest thing for me. But I remember, I just remember, I have all these memories of the 70s and the 80s and being a baseball fan. And I like letting that pour out of me, because I mean, that's sort of the fun part. And a guy like you going to how many games you go to Three River Stadium a year?
Probably a few times a year. And I remember, again, there was again a magic about it. When you're young like that, it's the biggest place you've ever been. That stadium, it was gigantic, and as
Big
years
ashtray on the end of the river.
as years went on, I was about to say it lacked character, to put it kindly. And we were, I think everybody was kind of glad to see it replaced by two stadiums that have a lot more character to them. But definitely I have a lot of memories of being there and go doing the tour of the stadium and being down in the dugout and all of that. It's a lot of great memories of that place and of those teams in the late 70s and early 80s when they were still pretty good before things fell off a cliff, and they haven't been very good since then. So, great memories, really.
Orioles should have closed the damn deal in Game 5 in '79 up there, and we wouldn't have had these problems.
You
Seth
can thank
Elkin
Jim
is
Rooker for
here.
that.
Yeah, we've been through this. Every time I run into Burt Blyleven, anyone, here's 79, World Crinty Colby. We are family. Seth Elkin is family. He is at the Maryland Lottery. He communicates on their behalf. We talk baseball. Next time I bring you on, we'll have other throwback. Maybe I'll have Mike Boddicker coming on or something like that. Maybe it'll be an old pirate I'll get on. If I get Burt Blyleven on, I'll three-way and let you come in and talk to him about 79. All
That'd
right.
be great.
You know about Circle Me Burt? Do you know about Circle Me Burt?
Yes, I do. I do. From his time as a broadcaster with the Twins. Yeah,
Well, you have a
absolutely.
big circle behind you at the Maryland Lottery, so it's like Circle Me, Seth. Seth Elkin is here from the Maryland Lottery. Always a pleasure to talk some baseball with you. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for making time.
All right. Good to see you.
All right, I'll see Seth again probably before August. We'll be at Mako Broadcasting. We're doing the Maryland Crab Cake Tour presented by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. I have the Back to the Future scratch-offs, my final batch to give away the next couple of weeks. We're going to be on the 8th at Di Pasquale's, the 10th at Costas. We're going to be at 1623 Brewing in Eldersburg in July. And we're also bringing the show back to all sorts of places in August for our 27th anniversary, including Coco's Pub, including El Guapo in Catonsville. We're going to be at Costas in Dundalk. I'm hoping to get back to Amici's in Little Italy, because if I'm going to include my 27 favorite things to eat, the meatballs and Amici's and the garlic cheese toast, I mean, forget about it. Making me hungry. I got to go. We are WNST AM 1570 Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore positive.